Hello, hello, hello. Let's see how this goes. So, I'm just getting comfy. Just looking so I can actually see my router. That's always a good sign. How's everyone doing? I'm live once again. First time in a while. Don't know how well this will work. So, you're going to have to bear with. If the stream goes down, this is first time trying to do anything live in a while due to, obviously, if you don't know, I basically said internet's been crappy and I've not really been able. So I need to load my phone just to look at chat and do. I just saw it drop in bars, which is never a good sign. It is dropping signal. But hey, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can manage this. If I can, it's great. If not, then back to the drawing board, I guess. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly go to my stream so I can balance sound and do. Okay, it works. Anyway, I'm just going to put this down here. I also need my shortcuts, so I'll put this here. You can tell I'm unprepared tonight. It's Tuesdays. I'm really obviously trying to get ready and going. Put some nice music on today, so there's that. Take these bad boys out. And yeah, gonna try and keep my stream on in the background just to monitor it. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping everything works out. If not, then well, I can blame myself for being unprepared or not good at IT, which I am kind of good at IT. Just quickly moving stuff out my way. Always a fun thing. So there we go. Let's get into this. I've dilly-dallied enough. I need my mouse. We need to go to this scene. Not the lo-fi music that's royalty-free for streaming. Haha. Not game 3. Not game 2. Game 1 is where we're heading. We are entering G2 versus Top Esports tonight. I am obviously very much in a very sweaty state. So if I do seem a little crazy, I'm also going to put my lights on because I need a bit of colour. So game 1. Here we go. Looking at this, top are on blue, G2 on red. And bans coming in so far. Zach, Poppy for top, whereas G2 have removed the Ash, Senna. So they're targeting out Jackie-Love. I think a lot of teams so far at this tournament has targeted Jackie-Love. And the trifecta of bans is Lucian to complete it. And that kind of forces like Draven to come out. Zaya's also up. It's what G2 want to play, because bear in mind, this team can play practically everything. So they're going to ban the Rumble, so that leaves Lucian. Then Nami on second, or G2 take the Nami on 1 and then go for something similar to what Lucian does. Varus gets locked in. So that's Lucian Nami, surely, for G2. Then you go... You can't go Ash, so Poke realistically isn't there if you want to continue. I mean, you can go Varus, Renata. You've got Barking Dogs. Very loud dogs. Callista's up. you can tell I'm out of the meta picks, so G2 not going to take Lucian Nami here. Obviously, EU Lucian is kind of a keck W, but hey. What will G2 go here? They could actually take the Renato. Instead, they're going Tristana. And this is something T1 did. Is they can flex this Callista into support, maybe. Topside technically can go this pick. Depends how G2 realistically want to play it. I do think it's more likely going into Samus hands. But as a whole, with that Ashe ban, it's actually kind of telegraphed that G2 want to go Callista. Or force a Callista pick. Top second rotation sees Azir. And well, that kind of is interesting with the Xin. So, Trist into Azir. More likely is a matchup there. I like it as Trist tries to rocket jump forward. You just Emperor's Divide either under the tower, the little Yordle, or push her away. So you've got that potential combo. I would like some engage, honestly, for G2. And Leona is hard engage. Early levels, you kind of have to play safe, play it more relaxed. But when you hit level 6, when Callista also hits level 6, you can start pulling that trigger more and more. It makes it a very potent lane combination for G2. And I think top will have to play very respectful post level 6. G2 obviously haven't locked jungle. Braum coming through is kind of nice. Braum Varus, a very good combo. Also with the Xin Zhao. I do like this a lot from G2. Realizing how potent the pick can be. Even though it's not something you typically would see banned out. Lilia comes through from top. So targeting out Yikes pool here. Belveth is still an option. Though I don't think you'd necessarily see that from Yike here when you've got 1 ADC, 2 ADCs. You're kind of then forcing Gragas or Zac, AP Zac. I could honestly see Gragas coming through and then Zac, or Zac on 4 and then Gragas on 5 to get the AP. Because then they keep the flexibility of the Zac there. And you then obviously have... Oh wait, Zac's banned. I'm ignoring the blatantly obvious Zac ban. Whoops. Ooh. Ivan's good. I like that. It provides frontline and shielding. It's that awkward support enchanter that has to be played jungle. And I like it as a whole coming in for G2. And it makes it hard for picks. It also scuppers this Nautilus pick more than anything. Because Naut can be body blocked by the Ivan's Daisy. And it's a good combo. I like it, this from G2. They're certainly adapting, or not adapting, but forcing weirdness out from top. Even though top have kind of gone very stock standard with their draft, they're kind of putting them in bad situations with the uniqueness of this G2 draft. And I think this is something people undervalue with G2, is how wacky they can kind of make drafts. Like, Camille, Ivan, Trist, that top half plus Leona, all, I think, champions only being played by G2 in this tournament. It's a very slim pool of people who are opening up with these picks. And I like this from G2 because showcasing this flexibility on the international stage. Granted, MSI has a lot of stakes now with, I believe, an extra world slot and guaranteed qualification into the main stage if you win. I think that's something that you get for winning MSI. But G2 obviously utilizing the best of the best at an international tournament to obviously improve their team and get better. And I honestly do like that a lot from them. as it realistically brings out some unique drafts that are hard to counteract. Now, obviously, we did see T1 decimate them in the full best of 5, but here, I think this is kind of where we see G2 utilize their uniqueness against a Chinese audience. Because bear in mind, they're in China, going up against the second team from this region. And I think the crowd are heavily in favour of top esports here. But hey, neither here nor there. We've got a full best of 5 in front of us. I'm excited. My dogs seem to be excited as they're running around. Let's get on to Rift. And let's take a look at everything. Oh boy, they're fighting. Grasp on the Camille. Is that Conqueror? That's kind of interesting. Conqueror on the Callista. Not Halo Blades. Not, I'm not saying Fleet Footwork. Press the Attack. It's Conk. No, that's Lethal Tempo or Conk. I can't tell from here. Can you tell? Pretty sure it is Lethal Tempo, actually. So, yeah, it's actually Lethal Tempo. Okay. My bad, gaze. My bad. So, not Hailblade, it's Lethal Tempo. That makes more sense than Conqueror. Mid lane, already seeing the power of this Tristana. As G2 actually got for themselves the early Raptor Ward. Only one sweeper. So maybe we see Mako path over and clear it out. I doubt it, because it's quite far up. And yeah, that ward's going to allow G2 to know that essentially Zin started topside. And if he's going for a full clear, he'll ramp down after taking Gromp into Wolves into the bottom plane. Bot side cleanses are being forced out. I was already starting to say cleanse, but I turned it into plural as G2 getting aggressive early. Flashing forward. First blood over Tan. Sama, they're just annihilating them. The stacks are being pulled out of Jaggylove, who's already losing out in this 1v1. G2's bot lane got aggressive early. They're actually utilizing their power as Jaggylove kind of overstaying as the Hex Flash lands and Mickey X, you absolute mad lad. Yeah, I mean, I could see the angle from a mile away, but it's a well-worked play. He just gets the kill. It's unfortunate Hans didn't get an assist, but it's worth it, the gold. As mid lane, Cap's gonna probably just jump away to safety. He waited for the Zin to dash. Yeah, easy as you like. No way for Tian to stack up 3 autos as we watch this play again. E immediately on level 2 hits the Varus, who just ticked over to level 2 in his own right. The trade backs come through, but Nautilus overstayed to kind of protect his ADC. It's a little bit too late, and Roe's reaction just tells you how good of a play that was from G2. Topside, Ivan not going to land the Q. I don't know many Ivan abilities other than he's got a Bramble Shield and his Brush Creator. I forget what that's called. I know he's got Daisy. That's about it. I don't remember what the Q is. As mid lane, Caps is jumping forward onto Cream. Gonna get the explosive charge to detonate, but obviously not the full stacks to get the cooldown reset. But yeah, G2 playing this early game well, to be honest. Caps has gone cool, which is a nice item. I wasn't expecting that at MSI. But it kind of is obvious. Azir wants to scale, so you kind of are in a scaling matchup. As bot lane, Hex Flash again, the Q from Ivan lands, and that is almost certainly a dead Varus. G2 are punishing Jackie Love in this series, it seems, as the ADC of top falls once more. On top side, Broken Blade could be killed off here. The tower dive being set up, the Xin Zhao lying in wait, looking to get a Wind Becomes Lightning, stacking up the 3 talent strike. But Broken Blade, he's just being ran down. Didn't give the assist over to the Xin Zhao, which is huge. Obviously realizing he's dead. So don't give over extra gold. Well played in that regard by Broken Blade. However, caveat of that play for top is G2 get first Drake. And that is the interesting thing, seeing first Drake taken before the first Grubs. And typically, I've already said about this before in a previous stream, teams have prioritized Grubbies more recently than Drakes. Because typically first Drakes don't mean much, especially Cloud Drake. Like, Cloud Drake first kind of is a worse for wear thing. Mountain second's kind of okay. Probably see a bit more prio on that. Maybe a play force for it. But it's interesting. G2 are winning out across on the objectives. Yike getting between the two quite quick, which is nice. I'm just looking where Zin is. He's here. So he could make a play. Hans playing safe, realizing the possibilities of a opposite side of the map play could happen, as Tian kind of reveals himself by hitting the Scry's Bloom. He's going to show himself on the sword, and G2 content with just taking 2 grubs. That's fine. They get what they came for. They got Drake and 2 grubs. That's worth it for them, personally. I think top are going to be content with getting a grub because they're behind tempo. And I hate using the word tempo, but they are. Slight goal lead in favor of G2. They also got, down their top, got a bit of pressure onto the bot lane tier 1. Cream's kind of winning his matchup, but it's a nothing matchup as top side Broken Blade trading in with this Cassante. The Intofo strikes miss, and the all-out is used. Hawkshot away to safety. Broken Blade not going to invest his own ulti as Mickey's going in on the bot side. He gets the cleanse out from this Varus, but this is still a 1 trade by TES. Hansama gonna still, however, contain the pressure for G2 as the Yike shows up in the bottom side of the map. Caps not allowing Cream to path down there as Tian's on his way to this bottom side of the map. G2 now hunting for the enemy jungler, and honestly Yike can just smite away that verb buff. The power of Ivan Jungle, baby. Camp stealing is free. Don't have to invest much time either. So that's huge for G2. As mid lane, Caps getting aggressive. Gonna get the explosive charges down onto Cream. But will he go for the outplay? As Cream, honestly, he was looking for an Emperor's Divide there. But obviously, his jungler had pathed back to base, took a reset. So no potential play could have surmounted, because the fear of Yike being there to make a counterplay was obviously in the mind of Cream. So instead, plays it safe, doesn't overinvest, and allows for his jungler to come down and, well, do his sort of thing, clearing out vision. Now they can go. That is a flippin' amazing buffer from Caps. As Daisy's dropped down, G2 are on a hunt. It's a 3v3, but Caps... Oh! Daisy's got to get a kill. What was What? Please give me a replay of the entire thing in cinematic. Okay. I don't think we're getting cinematic, but Emperor's Divide buffered. Cap's still alive. He's healing up with Health Pot. Obviously, you get more health the lower health you are. The wind becomes lightning lands. Flash over the wall. E-chase by Tian gets Buster shot away as Q from Hansama lands and kills. That is the crispest Tristana movements I have ever seen in a short period of time. Caps is an absolute god at this pick. Now Mickey and Caps joining up together, bullying Mako out the river. Honestly, this game is nuts. I just realized Caps didn't get an assist on the kill onto Jackie Love, but he doesn't really need it. He's stacked up his cool... No, he hasn't. He's almost to a crisp 20 CS remaining on it. It's about 4 waves to clear. 3, if we want to be correct. But, hey. He's doing fine. Content with his performance on the Tristana so far. And G2 just setting up for Drakes. Using the brush supremacy to make it so that you can't see the Drake being taken. And where G2 are, the ward wall is just preventing. And G2 have caught out Tian. Jumping forward, goes Caps. He's looking to get the Buster Shot execute onto Jakilov. Now the continuation from G2, as next it will be Mako. Finally, Cream falls and G2 wipe the floor with top esports. Honestly, this is the power of Ivan. Not the fact that he can steal away camps, but the fact that he essentially makes objective control so goddamn easy for your team. Brush, brush, brush. The wall of brushes means that Mickey's engage and the Q from the Ivan hidden, and Tian gets dropped because of it. The full burst CC chain combo from G2 locks him up, and then it's just Caps rocket jumping forward, reset after reset, gets the kills, and gets the wipe for G2. The only member that didn't fall was 369, who, let's be honest, while has a kill up on Broken Blade, he's not really been involved in this game. And G2 realizing that this Casante's been left unchecked, so they're bringing the death squad up and are hunting to get him, basically. They're going to start up this top lane tier 1. Somehow plates are still up. And G2 are just dismantling this tower. Caveat of this, obviously bot side, Jackie Love's going to get a few bits of gold from himself with plates. But they do get 369's TP top. Void Grubs... Are they started by G2? Surely they know that... No, they haven't. So they didn't take any Void Grubs. They just stood there. Anyway, 369 steps up into the wave. And he gets immediately greeted by Hansama. Nice. Void Grubs are going to stay at 2-1. But Harold's going to go over to G2 because, let's be honest, you can't really step up into a top-side map with Callista if you are top. So they're going to have to give that one up. Now, this is technically a cross-map play because top got bot lane tier 1, G2 got Harold, a few plates for himself on the top tower, and I think Cap's got a few plates in mid after watching a little bit of that. Caps has finally fully stacked his culling up. So he probably will look for a back sooner just to get his second item. With the Vamp Scepter there, maybe Bloodthirster. Blade of Rune King actually seems more likely. But it does depend realistically how you want to go. Because it wasn't too long ago, Tristana mids were building static rapid fire cannon. But again, it depends how Caps wants to play this champion. And considering right now he's 2-0-1, just dominating and demonstrating his prowess on this champion, if you look at the lane Golden Economy, that tells you something. He's certainly piloting it to a very high level. G2 now, obviously, with Hans Hammer on the top side, just going to get this top lane tier 1. This was the inevitable trade, obviously, tower for tower. But because top bullied away from this side map with G2 invading into this jungle, like, Caps pathing up there means that you can essentially go for a play, and Ivan's down bot side. The Hextech ultimatum's going to be channeled, and the all-out pulls him out of it. Now 369 going to be locked up and killed off as Mickey gets involved with the redemption. No, it's not even Mickey. It's the Ivan getting involved, shall we say. And Caps is showing up too. Cream gets the Emperor's Divide, but the rocket jumps too powerful, baby. Caps gets a double kill. And this game is well and truly out of Top's hands. That was honestly the most unnecessary fight I've seen this game so far. It was a nothing fight. 369 had no real bot lane tier 2 pressure. His team, for some reason, were nowhere near him. Cream TP'd in and places his air tower. But in the end, gets killed. His tower falls. Caps gets another tower. 369 falls. G2 kind of overstacked the map and utilized their spells well in order to get the pickoffs and win the fight outright. Now they get to maintain control because of the way they like to overstack sides in the map. It forces and pulls top to them sides, and when they do that, they just rotate to another lane, drop the Herald as they've just done, and get the mid lane tier 1. Mickey's going to go on a drift course over to the second Drake, and it's somehow going to crash, maybe again, as Caps is TPing. He sees 369 isolated. The Hextech ultimatum's going to trap him in play. Caps' TP comes through. 369's in a whole lot of danger as G2 trying to secure the Drake on two fronts. It's a two-person fight. It's Hans Hammer shut down. Mickey on the front line, and it's going to allow for this Ivan to get a trade kill as the Azir falls. Now, what can G2 do as it's now Broken Blade TPing in? Mickey also gets a kill, but Jackie Love falls. Top Esports are being decimated by an Ivan and Leona, and it only takes one character to come in to clean up the fight. G2 dominant in game 1. And they're going to get this Drake to boot. Soul Point on top of it. Top lane tier 2. Why not, Caps? And yeah, this game is out of hand. I already said it, but it's even more out of hand. Another perfect buffer out from Caps. Even though he's still being run down, the slowness coming out from the Iceborne Gauntlet forces Caps' flash out. But G2 secure for themselves this Soul Point Drake. And we get to watch the fight again. And it's Mickey. Gets on top of Jackie Love once more. But Hans isn't in a good place, because he tries to get in a position to Fate's call him out. But that puts him right in front of Cream, who gets on top of him and kills him off. Then it's G2's Ivan and Leona. Daisy is a menace with the shields, and they're just buying time. They're getting on to carries. Somehow they kill Mako outright. Broken Blade TP's in after killing off 369 on top side with Caps. And It's just an insane fight that never really feels even because G2 have Daisy. Daisy is classing as a third team member in that fight that was a 3v3. It's nuts. And personally, you got to give a lot of credit to how G2 are playing this game, as it's so hard for top to kind of respond. And with it, I need to quickly pause. Well, that was interesting. Love going to sort things out. Wait, let's get back into this. I need a breather to see where we are. It's 20 minutes on the clock. 2 to 16 kill score. G2 ahead by 13k. Ivan being Ivan and just creating a massive brush of death. And making it so top can't step up. G2 are the ones controlling this game outright. Objective control's been phenomenal. And they're doing a lot of good work. The hook's going to land. They're getting on top of them. Ivan drops Daisy, but the follow-up's not there. Leona's probably caught, but Face Corp keeps her back, and they're just going to get Daisy. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Broken Blade's pushing with Camille. And that's a pretty nice thing. As a massive solar eclipse is going to land and force Cream to dash away. Not going to get a summoner out just yet, RG2. But they are going to get the bot lane tier 2. What is Top's response? Because they're not able. Once one shows down there, G2 just start the Baron. And this brush wall means that it's so hard to see the Baron's health bar. Because Top have to come this way in order to see it. Blue Trinket's there. Leona's misses the E. Is onto the backline. Goes Cream. He gets the pullback onto the Ivan. And Yike is down. No more Ivan means no shielding. And no more Daisy. 369 looking to kill off Mickey. And it's actually going to be another kill over to Top. They're looking for more as Broken Blade hook shots away to safety. Wind becomes lightning. Misses. And Broken Blade's going to make it away. The ghost from 369 is not going to provide any more chase down. And the hook shot pulls Broken Blade to the safety of the tower. Meanwhile, mid, G2 are just pushing. As G2 do. Caps is very strong in killing towers, need I remind you. And he might just sack, honestly, to get it. Tower falls. G2 securing a massive play as Broken Blade TP'd back in. He's looking for a kill onto Tien. Hexcycle Ultimatum is not available. Instead, he could honestly just continue to chase. He kills off this Zinzao. And what can Top do? 3 members left standing, gawping at the play. Broken Blade has given G2 this Baron. And that is from G2 wards in their own jungle. This ward that was around here, MVP. I think it was actually the control ward. MVP for G2 gets Broken Blade the pick onto Tian, and G2 punish. That's just clean league. They get the pick, they get the kill, and they've got Baron on top of it. So this is the Baron fight that went well for Top. Poorly timed flash from Yike gets him shut down by 369. Then it's Hansama deleted by Tian on the other side. And this is where G2's comp kind of struggles. Because once their frontline, the supportiveness staff, falls, it's very easy to kill off these members. Camille, very squishy. Same with Callista and Trist. But what we just saw there was Broken Blade showcasing the strength of this pick. He got the massive catch out. And he's looking for more as he's on top of Tian, isolated. The Crescent Guard's going to force the Hexac Ultimatum to be cancelled. But Broken Blade don't care. Soul secured for G2 as well as the kill. And this should be a Baron push on this bottom side of the map. Coming into full fruition. No tier 2 down here, so it's going towards the inhibitor. And G2's push can be very unrelenting. 369 standing in front of G2. He's not afraid of what can be done to him by caps. Obviously, a heavy armor build. He's got Frozen Gauntlet, Thormail, and then a cloth armor in the back with steel toe caps. Yeah, that's a Very nice build for the top laner of top, because he realizes G2's comp is full AD. Like, that's the big caveat of this comp G2 have. The only person that isn't AD is this Ivan, who for some goddamn reason has a Medjay. Like, the fact she Yikes that confident in pulling out a Medjay's. I mean, 3-1-14 kind of does spell Medjay's game. But, yeah, to be honest, it's going to be hard to deal with him and the rest of G2 in this state. As the 1-3-1 begins, and topside, the catch-out could have happened as Hans Sammer being pulled and killed off. It's not Hans Sammer, it's Caps, but Broken Blade showing up, and so is the rest of G2 as 2 picks have already come through. They've killed off 369, and that's the big tank that top have, and it's no longer there, so everything in the base of top should fall. The tier 3 in the top side, the mid lane, and possibly the bot side could also fall as it first inhibitor falls. The engage comes through from Broken Blade, and they're looking to kill off Tian. Mickey X joined him, but he's been ran down. He's being taken low. Jackie Love looking to get the execute off, but a timing of that shield from Yike secures Mickey's life, keeping him out of the grasp of death. G2 get the inhibitors, and maybe a little bit more than they bang for, as Caps goes aggressive, head first into Cream. And when he does that, it's a weird one, because he gets Emperor's Divided as he jumps forward. Nautilus lands a hook. It's then just a CC chain on Caps, killing him off. The continuation of the play, though, is Azir falls alongside it, and G2 went to the base alongside 369 falling because he had to go in. Simple as you like. G2 played that well in some regards. 369's been caught out once again. The chase down can come through the Hexacle and make him just perfect. Caps gets another kill. I believe that isn't his. That's who's got the revenues? Who's got the Hydra? Oh, it's Broken Blade. I was a little concerned when I started seeing the little pops of AoE as G2 just set up the line of brushes. How many members are in the brush? Clearly not 5, because Broken Blade's on the hunt from behind. The Solar Eclipse is going to land, but no one's going to continue to chase us. Mako finally throws a hook forward. G2, though, still secure the inhibitor, and they've got double super minion waves coming into the base at top. No Baron for another minute, and that's the call signal for top, because G2 can't end right now, but they've still managed to kill off Mako. Emperor's Divide is not good enough as Caps is able to get away, but G2 still firing in. Hansama gets a kill before he falls, and Broken Blade showing up. He gets the double kill as the carries of top fall. G2 are going to end game 1 in a dominant style. That is what we call peak League of Legends from Europe. It was good. That game showcased some Western dominance. And personally speaking, I can't fault G2 in that game at all. Now, let's get into game 2. We're going to do all 3 because it's a quick series. He says, realizing this clock has 40 on it. So, let's go. Pick ban phase immediately out of the intro. G2 leads series 1-0 as we've seen, and are staying on red. Zac, Kalista, there's the change up from top. I think G2 might ban all 3 ADCs this game. Varus, Senna, Lucian. What did they ban game 1 instead of that? Clearly they need to ban the Lucian here, because first pick prio on that is very high. However, Lucian goes over, or do you pick up the Nami? And then you trade it on the other side. Poppy ban. I think there's going to be a split state here. Because G2 can get either Lucian Nami. Ashe, the other ban. So Lucian's up. So's Draven. Jackie Love gets the Draven this time. Kind of have to go Lucian Nami. Fight the Draven. Head on. Or you go Zaya. Flip it. Go late game. Who cares about a Draven? Cog Brom, the G2 Classic, gets picked up here. Top Esports. I forget G2 plays so many goddamn picks. So it's hard to do draft for them. Top, I mean, Cream's only really been looking comfortable on this Corki and Azir. Game 1 kind of got outplayed heavily by a Tristana. This time looking for a more poke-orientated build with this Corki. I kind of like it a bit more. You've got Draven there for this disdain damage. You're there to just poke, harass, and get the executes. I like that more than anything for Cream. Pair it alongside some strong engage. Sedge is up if they want to go for that front line. I don't mind the Jarvan. And that kind of, though, forces G2 to go phase 2 Rumble ban. Rumble ban more than anything. Because then you've got the cook pot. Or they pick it themselves. I mean, it's not a terrible pick for themselves. But I think they kind of want to secure Caps' pick here. Because he can honestly go Azir. Or he can run it back with the Tristana. Tristan to Corki is an interesting one. Because I think compared to the Azir, there's less outplay for the Corki. So it's more of a Tristana favoured matchup because of how easy it is to chase down, get the kills, compared to the fact that Azir can Emperor's divide and slide to get the sustain and escape. So there's that. I do think, though, top will probably... Honestly, that's an interesting thing because... Yeah, Brom kind of count as Rumble in some regards. When the equalizer's dropped, you put the shield up and it can't go through the shield, so it's unbreakable will. So naturally, I think G2 banning Rumble does make sense, obviously, because Jarvan, but Camille's still an option. But then you're heavily indexing into AD if you're TES. Ivan ban. Do they ban the Lilia this game again? Don't give Yikes Lilia. Please. Please don't do it. They're going to ban Vayne again. They don't want Broken Blade on that pick. So they're probably looking for a tankier top. Now the fact that Rumble's banned. So, I mean, Ornn for 369. Still an option. Well, Sion. I mean, G2 don't have to reveal much here. Rek'Sai's one of them picks, like Zac, that can be flexed. So G2 gonna keep a flex. Why not? Make top show their draft. Choose where the Rek'Sai goes based off of a strength. Because, I mean, it's going into either the Jarvan or Ekasante. I like Rek'Sai jungle for Yike. But I'm pretty sure it's going top, and then he's going to get the AP carry like Lilia. Elise is an option. Karthus if we want to go old school. I mean, Renata, Draven's powerful combo. Not surprised if that gets locked in. You could go... I mean, Lulu isn't the strongest with Draven. Nami would work. Nami, Draven's okay, but it's going to be Renata. Makes the most sense. You don't want to be pairing up too much engage. And obviously the Enchanter. Buffing up your carries who are kind of susceptible considering fact 369 and Tien just want to be jumping into the backside. Plus, Caps can jump on you. It's honestly a very potent G2 draft that they've revealed the Rek'Sai going into the jungle. I like it. Broken Blade's on the AP carry. So there's that. I mean, obviously, he's probably going to go AD. The concern for me is G2 yet again, heavily indexed into AD. But top on the other side, I think the interesting thing about their draft is they've got the option on this Jarvan to go incredibly tanky instead of a bruiser combo where you go for like Sterex, Death Stance and all that jazz. You can go for a less damage heavy build and go for more of like a tanky one with Kurox or Cadence as it's actually called. I don't know why I call it Kurox, but Cadence plus Spirit Visage, maybe even a what's it called? Jack Chow, if you want to just be an absolute nightmare frontline. But it's an interesting comp top have. Heavy amount of engage into a comp that can peel quite well. Obviously, COG and TF, very immobile. However, you look at the peel that they've got a Braum for frontline and protection. They've got Triss Buster Shot to push away this Jarvan. Honestly, G2 can do quite well here. However, what I will say is top, in their own right, have a strong comp, and they're already looking to punish Ike's early game. Gonna take it back here. He's got a while before his camp spawn. It's not in any danger. Just looking for deep vision. No one's got sweeper this game, so no clear outs. Ruins. Lethal Tempo Cog. It's a late game pick. But G2 could get the early game play, as Renata's going to be autoed. Draven's there to protect. Jaculove's already picking up a few of his axes. He's got 3 pickups there, which is nice. Not going to get too many more just yet. But the Vision Ward dropped there by Caps. It's the same as game 1. This time the responsive ward's going to come out from top. No sweepers, so Yike not going to get some free gold. But to be honest, it's a better start out from a TES because they're able to see where Yike is. And with the fact that G2's bot lane hyperscales, the original hyperscaling ADC is Kog'Maw. And he's able to do a lot of work if he gets going. But Draven's going to keep him back and suppressed early game. Same with Yike. It's the range melee matchup of dreams that everyone loves if you're a support. Anyway. I'm going to be honest. I do think that the way that G2 are actually playing this is good early. Waves being stacked up topside for Broken Blade. So maybe a possible dive being set up by him. Because game 1 predominantly was bot side pressure from G2. And it may look to be that with that ward there. But he's just covering as the big wave crashed in. Concern is obviously the CSD growing for Jackie but I'm going to be honest. Draven's CS lead doesn't really amount to much if he isn't able to cash out, to be honest. And that ward that was placed by TES kind of has come in clutches. Good flash from Hands. And they've... Ooh, that's a failed dive and a half. Now it's just... How do you fail a tower dive that bad? In pro? Like... Yikes covering mid as well to allow Caps to make that play. So, I think the inevitable play was always for G2 to counteract the dive, considering how they played it. But I'm going to pause it right here. Oh, well, it's a bit late and my pause didn't work. So I'm going to pause it when we get initially into the play. So, essentially, Hans and Mickey keeping away from one another. Obviously, flag and drag can only go through one target in this situation if they stay far apart, which is good. He goes on to Hans. He gets a really good flash to avoid it. That is pretty good. As this play is going on, Caps is TP again. And the big thing to note is it's a Corki. Compared to game 1, if this Azir was level 6, he would just slide and glide in and Empress Divide, or try to go for the Empress Divide to cancel the TP to allow for the outplay for top. Granted, it probably would have resulted in the death of Cream, but he would have allowed for his team to get first blood. That's the initial idea of that. This game, he can't do that because he's on Corki, no CC. So, Caps can always just TP in the face of this Corki. He comes in, and this is the issue. Mago's tanked up 3 tower shots already. He's a level 3 Renata. Boop! The bailout comes through, and it's like, well, in this situation, he's not gonna get a bailout because Caps, well, is CPing in, and it's gonna run him down. Cog and Brom, too tanky at this stage, and Mickey's diving forward because he knows that Caps is here. Overall, the play is just so scuffed from top because of, I'd say, the initial draft. Because of the fact that Caps is TP'd in is the other big thing, which falls up. It's a good E, stand aside from the Draven, but Mickey gets his shield up in time, and the chase down can come through. Flash is forced out from Draven. The concussive blows land, and it's just easy pickings from the W in Cog. Honestly, well worked. As mid lane, Mickey shows up. Flash for flash trade from the support for the mid laner is worthwhile for G2 more than anything. And that should honestly result in Yike getting objective control. Now, game 1, the objective control was Drake's. Considering the fact that G2 have stacked 3 members down here, I think that's the same sort of play. Yike's hovering. He could get onto this Renata if she steps too far forward. And they are stepping forward, and they go in. They get a knock up onto the Draven. And now the concussive blows start to stack up. Cleanse is forced out from Jackie Love. G2 get another summoner. It's a simple play to get summoners. Now the Draven can't play as aggressive. Renata has to babysit him a bit more. She can't get roaming plays. Topside is a big outplay by 369, but how will that result in anything? Because Broken Blade kind of can just play safe. He doesn't need to overextend the matchup. And yeah, I'm really liking this early game from G2 because they're punishing as well as taking things away from top. And the response has been minimal because the Jarvan's been unable to get anything. Now, game 1 was the Drake start. This time it's the Void Grubs. Because Rek'Sai takes them pretty easily with a Q. Already secured 2. Looking for the 3rd. Tian is here. Yike has got Smite and will secure it. Didn't even need to press Smite. And he's just going back in as TF shows up. Cabs is quite low. It's just funny seeing double tunnel on one another. By Yikes, so he's able to make plays outright. And this game's... Oh god. I've only just looked at mid IMs. As Cab's getting aggressive early. But Cream's outplaying it, to be honest. He missed that rocket, which probably would have spelt go in. But, nah. Doesn't go in. Just health bar trade. But the fact is, both mid laners going for cull brings me back to 2023 meta. As mid lane, Caps just gets deleted. I mean, Cream just waited for his spells to come back up. He just timing Caps. Caps also didn't have flashes. That's the bailout onto the Draven. Not going to cash out as well because Hands is really low. The W, the concussive blows, the kill. Simple as you like from Hands. If you call simple being on the verge of death and giving over a reset onto the Draven and him getting back to life. Very simple. 369 is looking to make a play. I'm just looking where Tian is. Not in range. Now he is. Good stun card out from Broken Blade, but he's just being walked down. Finally invests the flag and drag. Gets the kill. Yeah, to be honest, Broken Blade kind of knew he was dead there. So mid lane play. Yeah, essentially Cream just waited for his second rotation of spells after the initial play we saw. Bot side, it's concussive blows landing onto the Draven. Gets, not the Draven, the Renata. Renata gets chunked, Draven tries to step forward to put damage down. Then another Q from Mickey lands. The autos stack up, Draven gets stunned and bursted. Renata is free firing onto Hands, but because of the CC chain that comes through from the Braum, it means that Jaculov can't get a reset or revive. And now G2 have a very dominant bot side in the map. 3-0-1. Boots and a pickaxe to a Caulfield's Warhammer is the big difference down there. Certainly a very potent bot lane. Cog Nash's Tooth first item? I mean, I could see it with the amp tone. Genuinely is an interesting state for the champ because he hasn't got many items. As Yikes going aggressive. Gold card comes through and Broken Blade's just free firing in now. Wave's going to crash. Not going to really be much as TP's forced it. Because Caps was just hard pushing the wave. Forces Cream to TP. Yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest. G2 playing fairly well now in this mid game. I'm not going to give them all the credit because it's mainly their bot side outplays that are giving them this lead. Second spawn of Void Grubs. Statistically speaking, I mean G2 might contest for 1 to get 4, but it's the fact that they've brought 4 members up for the Grubs means that G2 can't really contest. Instead, what is that play on the other side of the map? Drake, I guess, because they're not really in a position to go for the bot lane tip 1. The wave's just there, frozen. Hands is finally down there. So it's a late trade of objective for G2, if you think about it. because it's going to be essentially wave push plus Drake for 3 grubs. So the game's evened out in terms of grubs, but G2 securing first Drake is the gain for that play. And a turret play. Ugh. Mid lane, the package was used, but Caps is rocket jumping in and we're not going to get to see it play. Cataclysm's used, gets the flash out from the TF, and this is the issue with G2's comp. Low mobility. They get locked up in the Cataclysm. How can a Cogmore escape? How can a TF escape? They can't. So, Top's comp also has some anti-synergies, I've realised. The Cataclysm isn't the best with a hostile takeover, as they're hunting. Bailout's used, but no kill's going to come through, as Kansama secures kill onto Jackie once more. Now, Tian being ran down as the living barrage just executes off the jungler. It's a triple kill over to Hansama. And Cream can't really do too much about it. He may keep hitting these rockets, but he can't defend this tower now. G2 setting up maybe another, but they're going to back away. Realize they've won the play. A triple kill for the Cogmore. Rageblade. How did I forget Rageblade? Like, one of the most common items in all of League of Legends. It's literally a recurve bow and a needlessly in a TFT. Anyway, the play, it's just kill Jackie Love. Cog gets a living barrage to execute him, and G2, as soon as the bailout's onto Jackie Love or that status force on him, they just run away. Don't give him an easy target, and they get to live. Simple as you like in that regard. They get the next 2 kills after it pretty easily, because Cog can just free fire in, and yeah. The gold board for Hans Sama. That's a very nice board. Very, very nice board for this game. Top, getting a little replay. That looked like 369 was about to fall, but he doesn't. Bot side Cataclysm's used. No flash for Broken Blade, so he's just run down. Top side Cream's being tagged up by a concussive blow. Just being jumped on under tower. Mickey tanking it up. But G2 gonna get the damage onto the tower alongside this as Yike's just hovering. The tower dive being set up. Mickey's still here. TP gonna come through. I think G2 will be content with just getting the TP. Herald's up. Well, secured actually by G2. So there's nothing on this top side for Top to play for. So that's actually a really worthwhile play. Get Cream's TP. Get essentially control around this Drake now, because Cream can't TP down there. That's a very worth play for G2. They'll save their TP on a... As soon as I say that, he uses it to go top. I don't like it. Really don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is I'd much rather have preferred Broken Blade to just walk up to top side, because he has Destiny. I mean, we're getting a replay of him dying. We already know how it happened. But yeah. Essentially, I'm intrigued by how G2 are playing this. Because, oh, that's a dead Renata. Yeah. Once a concussive blow lands and you got the 2 ADCs right next to you, it's a dead squishy support. No escape for Mako, hence why he doesn't prolong it with the bailout. Brawl goes wide. As Harold's not going to get the second crash. G2 should be content with mid lane tower falling. 369 just stood here on the side. But with Drake spawning, he does have TP, so possible TP flank was set up here by top, and there is that ward over here that is TP flankable. Whether or not G2 sweep it out, different story. But it should be known that it's there, even if the sweeper didn't see it. I'm a little surprised by G2's choices here to not contest this Drake, because they would have won the fight, I think. But I'm pretty sure they're happy with how this game state is. I think they're just content with it's playing this slow. That was a misplay. And they're continuing to chase. Flash out from Jackie Love. Yike burrows under the tower. Double kill for Hansama as topside. Cabs is being run down by 369. The Ghost gonna get the flash out. Tristana stays alive and is TPing in. Realizing the issue, he's gonna get away to safety. Though he does give over 3 sorcerers to Cabs with the bomb. I kind of want to see Cream's misplay there, because it is a misplay with the way he utilized the package. Because you should not be doing that. You're targeting hands, but he's got support always near him. You knew that the Destiny also was not used. Then it's a good chase down. Yike tanks the tower pretty well. He just waits for his Unburrow to come back off cooldown and instantly uses it. It's a well-worked play to get the second kill. But damn, it's a horrible play from Cream. Very bad. I think that's the most obvious of outplays. We're also playing for Mountain Soul, which is nice. But not a factor in this one. Compared to Game 1, Soul was always going to be a factor with how G2 played it. You could tell by the fact that they focused Drakes first rather than Grubs. Or that side of the map. So the fact in this game, they put a bit more pressure to top side, leaded me to believe that they're just going to play for a more Baron orientated game. And I mean, you've got obviously the split push threats in this one of TF and Trist. So G2 have a very good comp at just pulling champions across the map. Mickey just basing in front of them is kind of funny. This is the one issue with being on a red side. It's really hard to control with these new Baron pits, the pit. Because Cleanse is early. Dracula's run down. That is just... I mean, why is he that far forward? Now, no ADC, you're kind of relying on Cream's poke. Baron's dropping quite quick. G2 getting in. It's in smite range early. As Jarvan goes in, He does not get a kill as Mickey runs down 369 somehow. Finally the Cataclysm comes through, but Yike's the one who gets hidden it, and he's still in smite range, so yeah, goodbye Tian. Now the smite comes through, G2 secure the Baron and secure the kills, as everyone gets deleted. The only one that doesn't fall is somehow Mako, as he's not playing the sacrificial lamb. He's just letting his team fall around him. It's nuts. And all of that happened on the back of Jaculov being caught in mid. So I hope we see it. He's just farming the wave. Minion's still there for Mickey to E2. Gets on. Cleanse comes early because it blew. Did not proc. Yeah. Jaculov misplays that. I'm pretty sure he would still have died to Yike diving forward, but the cleanse just wasn't timed right for the actual CC ability. And now top are in an awkward situation where their ADC 0 and 4, the Draven not really been able to find impact, only has one item, the Essence Reaver, compared to 3 completed for this Cogmore, this artillery of damage. Top gonna trade towers here. Kind of can't keep Cassandra down here. He does have TP if need be. Mickey stepping forward, allowing for this tower to fall. Draven starting to fire, but the living artillery is on point from Handsammer. He's hunting. As Tian gets a bomb placed on his head, forced to run back to the fountain. As G2 get the flash out from Jaculov. How was he caught out there? Look at Cream. He's got the package. Looking to get someone on G2. Yike maybe. Maybe even Caps. But Cabs is still unrelenting. The hostile takeover is pretty poor. As Hanshammer flashes over the wall and he's looking to get more kills. It's already 2 kills over to G2. And they're looking for more. As everyone will fall on top side of the map. For no one on G2's side. A clean ace for the LEC first seed. As we head into Game 3. Cogmore outscaled, outperformed a Draven. And I'm going to just say this right now. The storyline coming into this series about Jaculov versus Hans was 2 dominant Draven players. And in Game 2, Draven was unable to find a win. As Mickey and Hans shut him down in a botched tower dive. In Game 3, I'm ready. It's a long one. Because of how long the extra post-game stuff is. It's only 34 minutes. I can manage that. I think this is the first time we've covered a full series at MSI properly instead of GOLing. But it's a Tuesday. I've had a nice drink. I've got a bit of a sore throat now, having not had a drink since Game 2 start. But yeah, let's get into draft. G2 on blue! Still keeping the same band, but this time they banned Lucian. Callista's up. G2 could go Callista here. Varus Callista again. We might see it. I think that makes the most sense. You go Callista here. Keep the flex. It's Pryo on Tristana. Caps' Tristana getting Pryo is pretty nuts. So top take Callista. Do you go Renata? Do you lock in your support now? Or do you go jungle? Zin's up. Poppy isn't. Javan's up. I think you might put Pryo on your mid laner as well. Give Cream his Corki again. It outplayed Caps once in that game, but it didn't do it much more than that. Do you show your bot lane here, G2? I mean, Varus Ashe. Oh, they banned the Ashe. Oh, they're running it back. The storyline of the Draven actually coming into fruition is pretty nuts. But you don't give Hans Sama his Draven. That's something that's been taught to LEC fans for many a year. It's a staple ban against G2. And the fact that no international team is, like, respecting it clearly needs to be studied. Is Nico picked up here for Mickey? I like it. I mean, Mako on Nautilus duty once more. Not a big fan of that if they give him it, personally, because he's kind of not looked for engages on the pick. I think that's the big difference in game 1 of Mickey and Mako was Mickey was constantly looking for engages on the Leona, whereas the Nautilus couldn't really do that. So I think you need to give a bit more agency to top. Camille, if it's going into support, does have that agency to look and lock up people. And I'm looking at Caps unable to rocket jump out of the Hexet ultimatum. It makes it really hard for G2 to play the game. And the second ban phase, I expect a Rumble ban. I hope a Rumble ban comes through from G2. Because it does a similar sort of thing, this Camille, as the Jarvan did in game 1. I really hope they do it. They should ban it. If they understand the flexibility of the Camille, the hot pot is still a possibility. Jarvan can come through here on 4. And then Rumble on 5. But I don't know what G2 are thinking. I mean, there is an angle. Yeah, actually that is an angle. TF plus Camille, same sort of thing, but the chase down potential's there. It allows for TF to get easy time. And yeah, then unaware if the Camille's going top as well. It doesn't scream 369 champion, but it could be played by him. And I like this Rek'Sai pickup for top. Keep it flexible. Keep G2 guessing. Even if G2 then forced into some plainness with the Cassante. The Ivan just coming through because why not? It's the secret sauce of this Tristana. Ivan, the absolute menace to deal with Daisy. I do like the Cassante here for him, unknowing of if it's a Camille top. Udyr comes through for TES. I mean, it's certainly interesting because you are kind of, again, if you're top, putting all the eggs in the Jackie Love basket, whereas G2 have multiple baskets with Caps and Hands. And the reason I say it's multiple eggs in the Jackie Love and not the Cream basket as well, because Cream's Corki is mixed damage. It's not that high in damage comparative to what a Callista can do over a period of a team fight. Because let's be honest, these two teams kind of want to scrap. G2 have drafted heavily for the team fight, for objective control, and we saw in game 1 how the Ivan pivoted between objectives to secure them, like early and quick, whereas in game 2, G2 didn't need to necessarily do that because of the fact that they were just absolutely dominating bot lane and just played through that. So, game 3, I expect a bit more of a similar style to what we saw in game 1. The pivot towards objectives from G2, and the hope that top realize that and they start to step up, because Rek'Sai early game trading with the Q, quite strong. Needs really level 3, or mainly level 2, to get the full sustain fights if he's able to hide in the brush and catch out a member. Ivan won't be able to do much, and then you'd realise that you're kind of wanting level 3 to go for the engages, the ganks, if you are Tian. But hey, it is what it is, and there's the ruins. Double Hail of Blade for the bot lane of TES. So they're looking to trade against G2, where it's a Comet and a Lethal Tempo out from the Straven, and already Camille's showcasing the early aggression. Mako wants to go in and force fights. G2 not going to let him. And Yikes doing the... This is the clever clear. I think he might do the Razor clear, where you go from clearing the wolf immediately into a blue. Also, we just saw in picture, Broken Blade's going to hit level 2 quicker because he killed a ward. And, well, it does reveal the start of Yike. It's certainly not the most untelegraphed things, because Ivan doesn't really spend much time on the camps. Anyway, a level 2 for the bot lane of TES, so they get push. Same story for this Udyr, as G2 play on the back foot a little bit for the early game. And this is kind of how game 2 started. That G2's bot lane forced them to tower early, and then a failed tower dive came out from top. And this is where you're thinking, if you are top, how do we not make that mistake again? And well, if they catch out Caps, the hookshot ready, in he goes. Good buffer. Ignite put down as well. So Caps gets a summoner outplay. Udyr topside gonna get the demolish proc. Broken Blade levels up, so not gonna die. And to be honest, right now, I like this out from Tian. Oh, it's Mickey. They baited him in. And now the Ivan shows up. That was a good bait, all things considered, because the Ivan Q and the Nico E, fairly similar in terms of look, just different speeds. So you're not really expecting the Nico E or the Ivan Q to move at you that quick, and then you realize, oh wait, it's a Nico. So as a whole, I like this from G2, utilizing that. Plus, if you look at the comp they have, the utility that Nico has, with the fact that she can, I wouldn't say, she can very easily pretend to be Ivan. Because Ivan doesn't really fight. He just puts shields on people and drops brushes. And it's very subtle, his ability cast, if you play well. So Nico could get away with hiding as Ivan. As Mickey just stepping forward, being aggressive. He's baiting, to be honest. No tower dive. because there's not enough mini wave. But the respawn's coming out. Hansama being chunked as the exhaust dropped out there by Hans. Now Kalissa stepping forward. Autos being thrown down onto Mickey. The flash out from this Camille going to result in first blood as Kalissa's going to pick that one up. The second kill is a trade as Hanshammer picks that one up. And now Ivan shows up. He's looking for a kill in his own right. Kalista going to trade back though. And hurts a little bit more than what Yike can do. G2 this time lose out on the bot lane play. And top get Jackie Love ahead for the first time in this series. It's interesting because they go headfirst into Draven. The exhaust comes a little bit later out from him. And so he's just in a situation where he's forced to play on the back foot. It's a little unfortunate. He stepped back to try and pick up an axe. But he does get a trade back. I don't know if the Adoration stacks were still there to get a cash out. I don't know how it works necessarily. Is it immediately on death you lose the stacks? Or is it when you respawn you lose them? Because if it's on respawn, then he just got a massive cash out. Or a decent cash out. If it's on a death, then I'm sorry, Hans, you lost a lot. That's a big all out. Pulling this Cassante, not Cassante, it's pulling the Udyr back to G2. The chase down comes through. The Ivan gets an assist. And this is the caveat of play. It's making cross-map opportunities. Not on the cross-map, but on the same side. But hey, it's still making plays while the opposition take an objective, which is nice. Love to see it out from G2. And it certainly is looking to be a little bit more as Ivan's showing on the bot side. Free hitting this tower. Alright, come on. Step up, Mickey. Get the demolish proc. Sad. Anyway. Looking at mid. Pretty even. Slight lead for Cream. Jungle is even-ish. Top side, not so much. Well, it is even, but it's a weird one. Top and jungle are even, in a fairly even state. Does surprise me a little bit with Zin in this game. And he could quite easily clear, it's Rek'Sai, sorry, can clear camps quite quick. Especially with Tiamat. Anyway. Will it be redemption first item for Yike? I'm intrigued to see what he does. Because he's already got his Dark Seal, so Medjai's could be a possibility once again. The fact we're watching mid right now leads me to believe Caps will go for an outplay. But he's being outplayed. As the autos just keep landing from the Corki is diving under the tower, goes the Camille, but Mako goes too deep. G2 baited in the Camille. And they're looking to possibly get more. Autos coming out from Daisy onto Cream. Not going to land the third auto as this is vaguely familiar. Udyr being ran down. The all-out comes through from Cassante. The rest of G2 not in a position to follow it up because they realise 369's dead. And Broken Blade gets the solo bolo. What was Tian doing, by the way? He was just stood there as his top laner died. Good outplay by Broken Blade with the Topher strike, so. Landing the Q3. Getting the kill. And an easy play for G2's top laner. Now he's got his second kill for himself. Cadence picked up on back, so this Udyr damage is pretty minimal now. Oh, we get a replay. Q3, pull through the wall with the all out. Now 369 is forced to run away. He lands his best stance at auto once. He steps back, trying to dodge the Q3, but he gets hit. Q3 comes through from Broken Blade to land the execute. It's a crisp clean play. Broken Blade does it well. Finally, first Drake's going to be secured. Chemtech, Dragon, numero uno for top. And that's something you kind of like to see second when the first is Chemtech. It's Wind, it's Cloud. I don't know why I said Wind. But Cloud Drake is the second one. Which means we're getting a good soul. The good. Everyone loves the good. Tian showing on vision. Gonna land the Prey Seeker. But Camps is just able to turn it back around. Because Ivan's here. Just providing the safety. G2's bot side. Hunting for the opposition. As Caps goes aggressive. Gets the Valkyrie out. And that's the explosive charge detonating. Tian showing back up alongside Yike. But no follow-up, honestly. He's just making his presence known to the opposition. G2 gonna continue to... We're going round 3. Why not? This time, Ivan's coming up. Needs to land a Q. But I don't think he will. Never mind, Broken Blade lands it. The Intofo strikes land as Daisy's dropped. The chase down under the tower can come through. The third set of Intofo strikes will not work. Now they turn their attention into the river. Rek'Sai forced to run away. But G2 happy they get the flash out of this Udyr. But I'm going to be honest. Grubby's a backup. And this is looking like a 6 grub game for TES. Cream showing up. You've got Mako showing up. Jackie Love's here. Full prio on this objective for TES. And can you blame them? They've been punished for objectives all throughout this series, and G2 are unrelenting. How they've played it. Just looking at items, Caps is probably due back soon. I mean, he needs 2 more minions to get the cull fully stacked up. There you go, fully stacked up, and he should probably go back to base and get for himself a nurse first item. Considering the fact that Cream's taking him your mana. Good flash to avoid the pot blossom. Though, realistically speaking, you should be expecting Nico to be around you. Considering you're facing the 1v1 against Draven. You're clearly a target. Anyway, mid. Tian gets a lot of damage down onto Caps, but the clapback comes through. This Rek'Sai is hunting. Redemption over the wall, not going to be utilized here by G2, but Ivan's here. And the shield just makes it so goddamn hard to kill G2 members. Now, what I will say is, Yike's incredibly low. He's going to use Daisy just to scout ahead. Caps forced to TP back to mid. And now Mickey playing the bait game. Still going to fall. But Daisy's here this time. And look to slow down Mako. Not gonna land. So goddamn close to getting the execute there with the whirling death. But it's not close enough. The interesting thing about this stage of the game is it's fairly just trade based and just clearing waves while we just wait for objectives to spawn. The only real people that are looking for outplays is Broken Blade so far. With the fact that he's constantly killing 369 when he steps forward. But Mickey force a flash. That should be Drake 2 over to TES. But hear me out. G2 don't need to prioritize second Drake because they can get 4 Drakes of the exact same one and it'd be a good, confirmed good Drake. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. However, Top have retreated out the river, allowing G2 to set up their own. Bottom side of the map. Mid lane was pushed in though, so chip damage onto the mid lane tier 1 plus maybe Herald. And a bit of damage onto tier 1 top. For denying your own Drake stack. I mean, I've thought of better ideas. Hexel is what we're playing for, which I like. Taking a look at items. Across the board. First items are coming in. Apart from support. Because support don't matter as Yike shows up. They surely should know that it's Mickey. They do want to hit the recalling Ivan. But yeah, personally speaking, I think that TES are failing to execute this comp. As a in-picture Broken Blade is just trading with 369. Gets away back to the safety zone tier 2. He's probably going to just hold the wave outside of his tier 2 actually, which makes sense. Herald started up here by top. G2 in a position to contest. They brought 4 members up. Hans though isn't in an auto attacking zone. Instead G2 may turn if they wanted to onto Cream. They choose not to, fearing that it would give control of this game over to TES, which at this stage of things, 2k gold lead outright, and most of the early game objectives, I would say it's pretty worthwhile for top esports. However, it's G2. They've been known to do wild and winningest of plays. So, let's think about winningest plays. How do G2 do it? How do they win it? Well, there's a few options. Most common has been catching out Jackie Love and killing him. Second, Cassante doing Cassante things. The solo bolos are helping, isolating the top lane matchup while push favors 369. Broken Blade still doing work as a possible 5-man tower dive is being set up. Harold's gonna crash, and G2 look for the fight. They land a massive Pot Blossom that gets the flash out from the right side, but it's not going to be a kill. Instead, it's going to be Mickey falling first. G2 being run across, but that's the cash out. Mako goes too deep and gives so much gold over to the Draven. The worst person to get the kill. And now G2 are hunting. The TPing behind Cream. He's isolated. Hit once by the Entofos. Hit by the Frozen Gauntlet. And chased under tower. The third strike lands. And Hans gets another. I'm noticing a trend of give Hans Summer kills. He kills everyone. To be honest. And yeah, it's what seems to be happening. So the fight, realistically speaking, as I'm almost falling asleep, well executed. It looked good when they killed off Mickey, but Mickey went in initially as an engaged. There's no fate skull, so he was going in to die. That's not soul point. That's Drake 2 secured by TES. Kind of hunting for the elusive 6th title. But yeah. Who knows? I'm losing my brain because I don't even know why I said 6th title. Yeehaw! I am having my sleepy boy moment already. I need more drink. Bot side cab's being run down. Does have the rocket jump to safety. Udyr quite tanky now. 2 items. Building up for a Sunfire or Hollow Radiance. Probably Sunfire into this G2 comp, who's again low AP damage. And this is the weirdness, because when playing League, you tend to think having very minimal of one type of damage is a bad thing, as Mickey goes forward, gets on top of this Kalista who's just been isolated off. No kill for it's actually both ADCs falling, but on the other side of things, Broken Blade gets the kill onto Cream. He isolates him off. It's on the other side. It's just laners trading with laners as Caps falls. What is going on? Broken Blade kills off the Camille. The support is down. Now it's time for Mickey to fall, but he's still alive somehow and lands the E onto this Udyr. The chase will come through by G2. And that should be a dead Udyr eventually. The only unfortunate thing for G2 is they don't kill the jungler. And so they can't go towards this big purple worm that is right here. So, anyway. Panic. We watch this fight. TP comes in behind and top along the fight. So G2 just turn onto the Kalista. It's a 2v1. Then Broken Blade somehow finds Cream. Like, Cream should never have been caught out on this Corki. But he does. And G2 punish. It's Broken Blade stepping up for the team yet again. killing the carries in the back lane. Doing his job, some may say. Now, looking at the kill scores right now, the one thing that TES probably are very happy about is the fact that this Rek'Sai is in a strong position compared to the Ivan. Even though the Ivan having a bit more impact, Medjay is also secured as... I don't know why the observers are just showing us a wet noodle fight. Because that's all this is. K'Sante can't kill him, and Udyr can't kill K'Sante. This is just an absolute brawl that is just going to result in the top laners having the most damage done in a game, because all they seem to do is brawl one another. Anyway, G2 starting this Baron. No TP on 369. Whereas G2 have 5 members here. Mickey's pretending to be a control ward. Daisy on the backside, gonna allow for the secure to come through from Yike. Fate's Call used, pulling to safety to Camille. But G2 are hunting. Broken Blade standing in the front line. He's trying to get an Ntosu strike pullback, but unable to do so as Mickey... I was confused because that thing just was stood there. Luckily for G2, Mickey can just stand there in certain situations. And he's looking to do so right now as he's hunting in the jungle. Hexgates pull top towards this bottom side map. Honestly, G2 should pivot top, knowing full well there's multiple members of TES down here. Instead, they get a mid lane tier 1, bit of a chip onto this tier 2. And now, probably the most important fight of the game for TES is going to happen. The Soul Point fight, which isn't going to be much of a fight. G2 secure it. And they're hunting. Mickey could be caught out. Lands the E. That's a lot of damage down onto this Rek'Sai. Cream just dives head first into his own demise. Yet again. What is this Corky doing? Does he know how to use package? Like, that is using your ability for the sake of using it. He didn't need to. And it's just given over more gold to G2, which they don't need to end at this stage of the game, because they're just that far ahead. Off the back of an absolute bloodbath in the river, G2 won a fight and have won this game, because I don't know how top stop this unrelenting pressure. Broken Blade can just stand in front of you. Mako's pretty much dead. Fate's Call comes through. They also used the Hexac ultimatum. I'm gonna be honest, that's a misplay. Broken Blade going all out, looking to kill off Cream on the backside, but G2 already hunting. They've killed off Mako. Nexus Tower 1 gonna fall, and they're looking to actually get another kill as a flash out from this Kalista does not do much. Jackie Love was hunted down by Broken Blade, and they're looking to continue to get more. G2 find Tian, and he's being ran down in the base. TP gonna come through from Caps, presumably, as the Nexus is wide open. G2 aren't even ending just yet. They're just looking to get more kills. Buff the stats, baby. Pad them out, because K'Sante's here. And Broken Blade, the top KD8 player, does it for G2 in this series. And for the first time in what feels like a long time, a Western team has beaten an Eastern team in a best of 5. It feels good to say that, after what could have been considered a bogey team for G2 for Europe is not one. And in the game 3, G2 clean sweep TES. A team, a lot of hope, a lot of maybe expectation on some of these names to make it to the final. But they come up short here against the better team out and out. And G2, with arguably the most wackiest drafts they could have performed today, beat TES. Finally, we are done for the day. It feels weird covering a full series for once. Maybe we do it again tomorrow. Because, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another series tomorrow. T1 versus Team Liquid. Oh boy. That's certainly an interesting one. I'm really looking forward to that, to be honest. Because, to be honest, I think there's going to be a bit of talk coming out from them two players in the mid lane. Even though Faker's very much meanwhile, APA's just a yapper. It's going to be interesting. Maybe he doesn't diss Faker. Who knows? But only time will tell. Obviously, I predicted a T1 win. 3-2? 3-1, actually. I think I predicted a 3-2 to G2 today. But they just 3-0'd them. Anyway, enough rambling. Predictions were done on Monday. You can check them out if you want to know what I predicted for the BLG versus Gen G series at the end of the week. Go check that one out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another best of 5. I'm actually amazed the internet held out, to be honest. So, the streams will be coming back. I will be happy and enjoying them compared to what I have done. I've got a bit more energy now after taking that couple of day break. So, let's see how it goes. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.